The team that's most positioned to have success in the NCAA tournament, though, is not NC State and it's not North Carolina. To me, it goes back to Virginia because Virginia has won 6 in a row. Virginia has a terrific level of experience, and they are a bitch to play because from a principal standpoint, they're just so tough to scout. Their defense is, as always, spectacular, but they're one of only 8 teams ranked in Ken Pom adjusted offense and adjusted defense in the top 25 in both those columns. The knock on Virginia has often been they're not great offensively. They're this, they're that. They, to me, they've got a good offensive formula. Armand Franklin, Jaden Gardner, their ability to hit key shots. You know what you're getting from their lead guard play. They've got game managers there. They're not going to be turnover prone. And they do have a level of balance, an inside-out approach. I know they're boring. I know you're both looking at your phones. But Virginia...
I'm playing with my ring.
What?
I'm paying attention. I'm playing with my ring.
Are you handing
I'm listening. I'm listening. I did answer.
I'm not playing with my phone. I'm playing with my,
but
my
you know
ring.
what,
I'm listening.
To me, the way that the Cavaliers are going, I think they could be a team. I think that Virginia could be a team that makes the Final Four, and we're all saying, well, this isn't a surprise. We all thought they could be this team. And it's like, yes, we did, but don't let the boring of UVA keep you from understanding just how good they are.
I've always thought, and T.O., you tell me if this is crazy talk. I've always thought the fact that Virginia is boring, right, and the pace that they play at helps them. It kinda,
of course.
It takes you, one, it takes you out of any kind of rhythm and any kind of comfort zone. And two, it creates so much pressure because, like, if you miss a shot, you know you're not getting that ball back for another 30 seconds. And you know that if you have an open look and you don't hit it, the next time down, it's going to be a nightmare to try to get, like, it plays a little bit of mind games with you, I think, playing against them and playing at that pace. I don't know if I – go ahead.
Their offense matches their defense.
Yeah.
To where, like, they're going to bump and grind you the entire possession. And no matter what happens on offense, you have to come back and guard for 28 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happened. And if they had, a few years ago when they won the national championship, they had Jack Salt tipping that ball out all the time.
Yep.
And then you'd have to guard another 20 seconds. And it was like miserable. And they're just going to take their time. It's like a running. I could make this comparison. It's like playing against a team that loves to run the football. Like, you're not going to get that many possessions. So you have to make those possessions count. Now, the flip side of that is the reason they got beat by UMBC is because UMBC was like, forget it. I'm just firing. And they can be susceptible to getting beat that way. If somebody gets hot real quick, and it's also not a team that's geared to play from behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a thing that hurts Virginia in the tournament because one game sample size, somebody can get hot. That's kind of my only counter to what you're saying, Fanta, but you're absolutely right. They have so many different guys. And I think Reese Beekman's the least talked about really good player in college basketball. I'm not going to say great, but really good player in college basketball.
Yeah, he's a pro. My only, I've said this before and I'll say it again, but my only concern with this Virginia team is that you look at the best teams that Tony Bennett has had, and they're just like loaded with pros, like Justin Anderson, and Malcolm Brogdon, and Joe Harris, and Anthony Gill, and DeAndre Hunter, and Kyle Guy, and Ty Jerome, like pros and All-Americans. And this team is really good, but you don't quite have that level of player. Like, you have a bunch of guys that are really good college players that are old, which helps, but it's not, even people forget about Anthony Gill, right? But that dude has been playing overseas in some of the highest leagues for a long time.
Good player.
He was a guy that averaged like 14 and 8 for, like, they've had really, really high level players that, whether or not they made the NBA, played a long time professionally overseas at a very high level. And I don't know how many of those dudes are on this team, which means that, like, I view them more as a team that's going to win a lot of games in the ACC and that can get a game or two in the NCAA tournament. I don't look at this team as one that can make a run deep into March. But I've been wrong about shit like
they're
that.
at Syracuse tonight.
Hey, for the record, Bet it all on Virginia here because Tony Bennett's found the answer to crack that code. He knows how to beat the zone. Put the point guard in the high post, give him the ball there, spread the guards out. 2-guard front, throw it to somebody in the high post, spread the guards out, have the point guard dribble it back out. It forces that center to pull out and to guard the big guy, and it opens up everything in the paint to guard the point guard. That's what they do. Go back and watch the film.
Yep, you're right. But the last person you saw do that, like he was able to back out and shoot it backing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, who can do that on this team for Virginia? Who can dribble the ball backwards, set their feet, and make a three from the top?
Not a lot of people.
I'm going Syracuse tonight. I think Syracuse beats them.
Wow.
All right. If you like being wrong,
but I think the formula with, Syracuse having individual scores.
You know, it's going to be fun when people listen to this and the game's already happened, so that they know which one of us sounds like a complete idiot.
It's going to be me. I'll sound like an idiot, but I'll take this risk because of the styles. And I don't think the guy, what's the guy's name that was kind of a Ty Jerome? He could catch it in the high post and like back out and then shoot.
He was one of the more underrated players of recent years. All right.